What's going on?
Look, the panel is live and ready. You know, OG Alex. We got Roc Conscious, and African Moor, VerbalpicRadio, VCM Films. Man, we getting ready to put it down. Since you see that all of us in one form or another has dabbled deeply into the entertainment, or whether it be film or music, right? So we well within our scope on this topic, and hold on, and this is particularly why we have we on that stage in that background, right? We getting ready to deal with this because
Come on,
this is America. This whole incident of dealing with colonizers and black people and racism, we've been dealing with this for too long. So it's time to we're gonna go deep into this topic and this subject, right? As Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo, they were called the N-word at the British Academy Film TV Awards, right? And so Michael B. Jordan and Lindo was giving out an award to a film, right? Of I Swear, and apparently David Johnson gave them the N-word twice. Nigga, right? On stage. Lindo looked like, what the hell, right? Michael Jordan got quiet, right? Now, I got to read something to you guys before we get into this so we can deal with Tourette's, right? Because apparently they stated that he was suffering from Tourette's, right? So Tourette's syndrome, also known as TS, is a neurological disorder characterized by involuntary, uncontrollable motor and vocal tics, often driven by an irresistible internal urge rather than conscious mind control. While it feels like an outside force is controlling their body or thoughts, patients retain their core identity. Again, patients retain their core identity, the core of who they are, even if tics, associated obsessions, or impulses outbursts due to diminished, not lost impulse control, and it's hard to manage. So whether what's at your core, the syndrome, Tourette syndrome, doesn't allow you to hold it in. Like we have control to where we can be at a place and you might see somebody you don't like, right? You have that control to where you don't jump on them. You don't curse them out. And when you curse them out, you have that power and that control to maintain yourself, right? Well, Tourette's is saying that if he felt that, it's going to come out. So now, he came out. Nigga. And also, he's a part of the British Academy of Film and TV Awards. He's on the board, right? David Johnson. Now, this on the heels of, and as you saw Al Green at the when Trump did the State of the Union, he had the poster up, "We are not apes," right? We're changing that, right? So basically, this is America. We've been dealing with racism and oh wow, man, this is even deeper than that. We've been dealing with racism and their perception of us. But we made their perception of us as if it's something to stand on, as if it matters, right? How do we know that? Because as we stated, we would go places and you see white people coming and we would have to straighten up. Or man, you acting like that, or you doing all that in front of white people, right? We lifted them up, right? Or is it the fact that the training and conditioning and we're under their order, right, that makes us react to them in a certain way? And when I mean order, you know how in the Bible they say we're on the order of Melchizedek, right? Or did they create an order that we are under that we have to get out from up under, and has a time ended, and is that the reason why we're more vocal? Because you can remember, I don't know, you can remember in the 60s, say in the 50s, even though you did have those who fought back, but it seemed like in today's time, it's a different feel when we encounter racism. You know, it's like it's no longer where we just sit back and, hey, you know, forgive them. They know not what they're doing. People are actually being vocal and sometimes physical. We know the great when the guy, what was that? When they Alabama, when they was on that boat, and the security guard threw his hat in the air and chairs got to flying, and
the brawl.
That what was that? Yeah. What was that?
I think it was Alabama. I think.
That's Alabama.
Alabama, and it was like no, because it's like this. When you push up people,
Alabama brawl.
That Alabama brawl. People been pushed to the brink, and this is a time in society to where we don't know the outcome, the reaction of, because we've never been here before, to where we've been at a place in time now where globally people are saying enough is enough. So now the reaction is subtle, but you starting to see it's coming out. People coming out. Even we starting to debate amongst ourselves on the proper response to things. Some are saying you don't want to get too militant because we don't want to get in no physical war. Some are saying, hey, just be quiet and let God handle it. Some saying, well, no, let's fight them at the polls, at the voting booths, right? But one thing we are saying, hey, is something needs to be done, because you can't carry on into the future another generation where people are purposely trying to demean you and make you less than, right? So now, with that being said, we finna have this dialogue, right? And we start with my brother Pan African Moor. We work our way up in this particular dispensation in time, right? Because we've had the great teachers from Noble Drew Ali and Martin Luther King, Elijah Muhammad, Masfarad Muhammad, Garvey, you name it, Deuce Ali, you name them. They came and did their part. So now today it's on us. What's the best response in dealing with racism? Is it at the polls? Is it saying, hey, look, let's just meet at the park and we just throw down and get this thing over with, right? Or do we or do we say, let's leave it up to a higher being to solve it for us?
Sovereignty is the only solution to racism. You got to have power, wealth, and resources in order to combat racism, which is one group having the power, wealth, and resources in order to deprive or deny another group of those same rights and privileges. So sovereignty is the only answer, and unity and the mind, affecting the mindset. So whatever we got to do, which we thoroughly discuss on here, the steps that we got to take in order to get to sovereignty over here in the wilderness in North America. That's what we got to do. That's the only answer.
Well, what you say, Roc Conscious, as far as dealing with this? So as we stated, because this part 2 of the last podcast we did, we put in the mirror to us as a people. What would you say to deal with this long-standing feud? It's a feud now, like the Hatfield and McCoy. It's a feud. We started to come back. They coming back. What would you say would be the best remedy to just deal with this thing?
Being that it's so deeply embedded, the racism, that's a great question. Because the practices have continued, and there are people, they are aware, but they don't really put up the effort to, really to even talk about it like that. although it has been gained, let's say more airtime, on the different social medias and things like that. But still, there are a lot of people still, they just like, okay, like it's no big deal. And of course, those who are quote unquote in control, they're not willing to give it up no matter what.
Well,
So if that's a part of it that, in their minds, like it's okay. It's just another part of their day.
OG Alex, how would you come with a solution that would be effective dealing with this, as I stated, dispensation in time that we living in today in the present?
I think having a solution with we got a big enough sample size of knowing that all the different methods of trying to do things is not really working in our favor. I think this is one of those things where you see, once you integrate into someone else's society and how they view things, and you try to adjust your life and live according to that, I think you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have to. You don't have to deal with it, but you're seeing by being in this particular society here that they're not going to stop feeling the way they feel about certain situations. They're not going to do that. So I think you're going to have to, if you decide you want to stay in this, you're going to have a higher power. You're going to have God to help you keep your sanity through it all, because it's nothing that you're going to do unless you're ready to die for it. And then it still may stay the same.
What they say, we always talking about heaven, but don't nobody want to die to get there.
Come on. They want
to go to heaven, but look here, what's the price? I feel you.
I mean, you're gonna have to, because even if you're militant about it, you still have to be ready to die.
Yeah.
And I think on a strategic level, if you was to force someone to accept your point of view, then you're pretty much doing the same thing.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? They're gonna be like, well, why are you making us do this? But they still not culture all day and every day, all day. But the fact that what they're saying, well, you integrated into the system, you being civil, this is a part of how it's supposed to be. So you allowing them to dictate the rules and set the playing field. So once you do that and you don't have any power in the say so and how that goes along, I think you always gonna have some type of imbalance.
Okay, so now we finna get into why there is and why we don't able on land putting out. Right.
We're having some mic issues.
Well, no, that's a vehicle. That's like 18-wheeler passing by. Okay.
Wow.
So we finna deal with this. Not. Now we finna move the white guy out the way. We finna deal with these brothers right here, right? Two different complexions, right? The white guy tried the N-word twice, right? Nigga, right? Just to
and
make
it says other racial slurs too.
It's at
least that's what I read.
Okay. And I bet he did.
He just went off, huh? He just went off.
Look who's doing it. But the point I'm making is how, and this is for black men and black women, because we encompass our shade, right? So whenever you have a white guy who demeans two brothers, they seeing us as a whole, versus sometimes where we will fight amongst each other and we created the term colorism, right? And then try to make that something that we would stand by, something of means. No, in that society, as he showed, in his eyes, he don't see no difference. So now, in our eyes, we shouldn't see any difference either. Brother is brother, because we both got treated the same way. They tried to make it seem like lighter skin was in the house and darker skin was in the field. But no, if you look at it, everybody was in the field and everybody was in the house. The butler was in the house. The maid was in the house. Yeah, they're all colors in the field, all colors in the house, right? Now, now we finna get into it, right? We finna get into it, right? Okay. Now, terminology, right? You can call some brothers an African. I ain't no African. You call them black. I ain't no black. You call them boy. I ain't no boy. You call them nigga. Nigga, I ain't no nigga. You call them, right? Right? It's going to be somebody going to get mad at some term, right? Now, it's only two terms that don't nobody get mad about, right? It's a third term that we say native, but some don't understand native and how to use that. But it's two terms. The original man and woman or indigenous. Call somebody indigenous, call them original, but any other term, it'll be a debate. Right? Why is that?
Man.
Why is
Not anymore, black.
that? Talk to me. Talk to me.
No, we're in a new day and age now. Now indigenous there's a whole debate and arguing and
Oh, is it?
slurs being thrown back. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, what about original then? Original man and woman.
No, they're not debating that.
Okay, well, God
They're not.
damn.
They're not even. They're matter of fact, not because of wisdom, but I mean that's actually key when it comes to the legal system. Actually, the term original, because when you look up the racial classification of the United States, they use the term original peoples when they classify different racial groups, but they use it for white, they use it for Asian, but they don't use it for Hispanic, and they don't use it for black, and they do use it for so-called Native American. But blacks and Hispanics, they don't have original. They don't have an original classification, meaning that they lack certain rights and privileges that fall under that classification.
But
Wow.
that's impossible when our like when you go back and study the origin of man, it's going right back to black people. Original.
Absolutely.
Right.
Wow, that is
See, it's for us to know it and it's for them to accept it. You know what I mean? We supposed to know it. When you don't know it, you can't expect someone else to accept it. You know what I mean? You have to know it for self. Once you know that, you can see that other people won't accept that because they've made laws and rules and that let you know they don't accept it because it's the truth. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, well, we can't have them or we can't have people believe in this because we want to be the power structure. We want to say we're this, we're that. So we're going to put stuff in play so you don't know that you are the one.
okay. Right. So Roc Conscious. To piggyback on what OG Alex just stated, why don't they accept that we are the original?
How about this? Does it really matter if they accept it or not? Like literally at this point in my life, it doesn't matter. To me, is as long as we know and how we address ourselves.
Come on, there you go.
It's what matters. Like literally, like because if not, otherwise that might be like an indication of that we're seeking validation.
Right.
And there's nothing to be validated. Either it is or it isn't, and it is.
Do we, bruh, let me ask y'all this. Do we as a people accept that we the original people on the planet Earth?
Yeah.
I know we do.
I do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Me, myself, and I.
Right. I'm gonna tell you why I asked this question. I was at a meeting, right? And we was getting ready to do a tribal police in the community, right? And in that meeting, one of the guys said, look, because they was talking about how to deal with white cops, right? When they approach you, if you claim that you're a tribal police officer and you wearing this badge, they said when them white cops approach you, You got to have the attitude and act like you are that. You can't be around here well like that, because that's that's when they own you, right?
Yeah.
It's on you. And then I remember when Ms. Farrakhan stated that you got to walk heavy on the earth, brother. Why y'all walking so light on the earth? Like, he was basically saying you got to walk like this your planet.
Right.
Like, why you not walking like you own this earth, right?
Right.
This earth. So I'm saying that to say is, I think, dang, well, if I'm in it now. But I'm saying that we got to display that, no, we say that this is our planet, we've been here, we're in America, this was our land. Well, then we got to walk, talk, and act like it.
That's right.
You know, how we gonna say this? Say, man, how we gonna say that? And this is the whole purpose. And if you've been following, if those of y'all that's been following the show, right, with us, you notice how we are moving, right? We moving. We not standing still. We moving with the planet. We rotating around right with the sun, 1,037 and 30 miles per hour, right? We right there. We moving, right? Okay. So now, as we say that we are, I am that I say that I am, then we got actions and characteristics that goes along with that, right? So now they're saying profiling. And then this piggybacks off our other show we was talking about propaganda. They saying, yeah, y'all might be, right? But hey, man, if I can get you in this dress and you get other people, then I don't have to treat you like who you are, because I got an example now. Hey, if I can get you to sag your pants down the street, and you wait, this your example of a king, like in the movies when they would conquer, in those in the olden days, in the Northman days, in the dramatic days, whatever. When they would conquer the king, they would put him backwards on a donkey, put that dust, strip him down, and ride him through the neighborhood and say, "Is this your king?" Everybody be like, "Nah, I'm not looking like that. That ain't my king," right? So they saying, "Yeah, okay, yeah, y'all royalty. It's true, but look here, we finna put these duds on you and strip you down, then, and now let you walk around hollering about I'm the king, right?" So when you have a panel such as ours, right, and we rolling into the dialogue. We are, as we stated, analytical, mathematical think tanks on a solution to get across a word. In the beginning was the word. I don't trip on what people, denominations or religion or whatever. It's because the word is so old. We ain't saying nothing new. That word's so old in time, before even the colonizer even was on the planet. He just learned how to use his technology and lie to distort the word, but the word's still old, right? So how can we get the message to, and we talked about this on the power of myths in the previous podcast, right? But how can we, and this has a lot to do with with females, right? Because that's the first teacher. And matter of fact, we ain't talking about the dudes right now. Matter of fact, we finna get on the sisters, right? The sisters are the first teachers in the womb for that 9 months, because that baby is listening, is eating what she eating, is listening and hearing what she's hearing, right? That is the factory to produce the generation, right? The woman in that womb is sacred, right? To produce a seed, generations that can outsmart and outthink the past of what the colonizers did. How can we help?
I think we talked about it on different shows we've done. I think having a blueprint that everybody really good blueprint that people are going to follow. I think the newer generation and bringing new seeds into the world. I think they have a a distorted view about how it's supposed to be done. And, a lot of things like trial and error. Well, this didn't work, so we're not going to do that. That doesn't mean you don't try. Certain little things. I think all the information we have now available, I think it's a good way to build a new blueprint from a little bit from the past, a little bit now, because we're all can be connected faster and learn from each other and respond and in real time. So I think we can start to paint a new picture for us and make it a standard to live by, not just to refer to.
Okay, right. I totally agree. I'm that now on the men part, right? Bro, would y'all agree environment is environment important?
It's crucial.
Absolutely.
Environment is crucial.
We got to create the environment in order for her to be at peace to create the future generation.
Right.
If not, okay, look, man, there's just so many things going on. If not, then we have to get off of I'm black and I'm proud. And how we let the gays, for the gay community just jack pride and proud. That was our thing.
Hijack.
How they hijack proud and proud.
And God's promise, the rainbow.
And how we let that go down?
Well, let me jump in on that one. So, on the homosexuality aspect, so our people, because we're not sovereign and because we don't have our own system, we're not organized, we're not unified, we don't have what Africa has in this particular case, which is laws against homosexuality. Now, I got homosexuals in my family. Uh, certain family members. Some of them I'm I know them well, and some of them not so much. The ones that I do know well, that I've known my whole life, I love them just like I love the rest of my family members. At the same time, I'm the type of person where, you know, majority rules, and if it's gonna be best for the society, then that's the way that we gotta roll. But because we don't have any rules and regulations, outside of, what the Europeans over here dictate, uh, because Europeans, they historically come from Rome and Greece, highly homosexual societies, then, it was inevitable that it was going to get to this point, and it's affected our people. And of course, they implemented agendas for our people to, with the dress agenda, putting all these actors in dresses and stripping them of their masculinity. So it came to a point to where that just became so normalized, and because there's no laws against it, then our people they're just falling in line with the programming, with the subconscious programming. And now it's just overt, and they don't even have to be so subconscious with it. They don't have to put Bugs Bunny in a dress and put him in lipstick and be so subconscious. They just put it right in your face, so until we, going back once again, until we start to move towards having our own 100%, then we just gonna go in circles over here. Same cycle gonna repeat itself. How are we gonna get out of these circles where we're under the thumb and the jurisdiction and the laws and the legal system of a foreign entity that, whole agenda is to keep their foot on the necks of our people?
Can we have permission from the sisters to be gods? Can you give us that permission?
What do you mean?
Can
permission? Why would you need permission?
Because I'm gonna tell you why we need permission. It's like being knighted, right? Obviously, something is stalling us, right? So maybe we need someone to say, go out there, like your mom, like the sister, Go out there and conquer something. Go be a lion and bring back some food. Go do something when we gone. Maybe it needs to be said, go get on your mission. Maybe a response. I don't know. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when you look at yeah, okay, let's put it like this. Let's say Thoth, let's say Mansa Musa, King Tut, let's say Jesus, say Muhammad. Let's say all the greats, right? Come back and they saying, man, what are y'all doing?
Oh. So you're
Right?
talking about the person, what was the guy name? Who said that God is very when it comes to great leaders, that we don't get them often. What was the man name who gave the great speech? He eventually went blind. What was his name?
Oh, Dr. Ben.
Dr. Who?
Was it Dr. Ben?
Yeah, Dr. Ben Yakin, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Dr. Ben
are we
Yosef
waiting on the great?
Yakananda.
Yeah, that's him, Dr. Ben Yakin. Yeah. So are the men
Yakananda.
waiting for a great leader to appear, or for another one to be given to
Right.
serve as a representative? Because they have sent in people. Government has sent in agencies, these people to somehow they became the great leadership.
But you can't, right? But they always get exposed
That's
because
right. So,
yeah, you
and
can't.
that's true.
Yeah,
So I mean, the men. That to me, that's something the men need to discuss among men. And again, what it all comes down to is that we have to get back to brotherly and sisterly love. That's it.
did that right.
That's
And you
just
that's
that is just the core of everything.
come on. I said it to say because all of us on this panel, right? You got a dad, he had a dad, they had a dad, they had a dad, mother going all the way back. I'm talking to millions of years from now, right? We coming in they line of divine. They left us up with certain tasks. We don't know if reincarnation is real. They say they come back and they like, damn, what y'all been doing? You know what I mean? Y'all ain't now, and I'm gonna show you how cold they was, right? They got a pyramid in Memphis. The Grand Canyon got resemblance that the pyramids. You got old makes and they left all kind of stuff behind to show, yeah, this is how great we was. You know? Yeah, look, till it was stuff lasting for thousands of years, right? But power, that's power, right? As like Brother Vishnu said, he say their job is to keep us from knowing we have power.
That's right, to suppress us.
And our job is to get back our power. And their job is to stop us from getting our power. They good at their job, is what I'm saying. We got to become good at our job. But we got to understand and read the why we have to. It ain't about white people. It ain't really about us. It's about what kind of future we want to build. The future is today, it's not tomorrow. We build a future today for tomorrow. So that's why why we do what we do, because we looking, maritime law, right? You looking out beyond to your destination. To get there, you gotta project to get to them shores. And then you get
That's
to them,
right.
It's like, so yeah.
We have to basically we just have to focus on us. That's
But
just it. And in a way, you can you think about it. If someone is so gun-ho, so to speak, about their well-being, can you blame them for that?
no. If they
For their self-preservation of their people, can you really think about it?
no.
So, I mean, if things are still going on, that means that we have to go a different direction. And that direction would be for us to just We have to solely focus on us. That's just the only answer.
Okay. Let me ask this. Let me ask you this, OG Alex, though. From your field, right? In the technological world, right? Right. How important if you creating a I don't know, computer or a system, right? That the mathematics is right, that the degrees is right, in order to make it do what it's intended to do. Can something be off, or does it have to be right and exact to get the result?
Right.
I think on a technical level, I think it's a part of resources, but I don't think it's going to necessarily have to what you can use technology for, and the advantage of using it would be communication. I think that part, because you can invent a lot of things that could do other things, but being able to communicate, I think that's more powerful than anything. Because if you think about it, our generation, when we grew up, we didn't have methods of communication, but we still communicate regionally, internationally. We still, found ways to do it. And just imagine how far along our minds would be if we had the capabilities of communication back then that we do now. I think that would have pushed us a lot forward. But one of my things, man, and I just know this. I think once we really, as a people, get closer to God, we have to have God, man. That's gonna be the only way, because it's in my heart, and I believe is the further you're away from God, the worse it'll be.
So what is
And
God
nature.
and nature?
Right.
But
You see what I'm saying?
What if we
So
gotten away from nature, so we in trouble?
right. So we're focused on what's going on, what we existing in, but that's just on a human level. On our spirits is not to live this way. This is us adapting to what we're environments that we're in, but we can't lose our who we are and for self based on our surroundings, and what's putting us in these situations to where we have to talk about it. You know what I mean? We have to realize that on a higher level, because they were being suppressed back then, and they still built all this stuff. They still did everything that we can't even come together to do, and they were under some even more worse bondage than we are, and they still were able to do
wow.
things that we can't even explain now. So it has to be in the spiritual realm. I really think that's where it's at, man.
Okay, so when Jesus said, "All of ye are gods, children of the Most High God," right? Is that saying that? Is that a knowledge that has to be learned? Is that an attitude that has to be believed? Is that a function of being that you have to internalize to be that? Or are you automatically that? If you automatically that, then is there some type of showing to prove that you are that?
Your obedience. Your obedience starts with the obedience. Once you got that, you can start, everything else can start to fall into play, because I feel that once you're obedient to God and you understand what he wants from you and your purpose, you start to live accordingly. Your life changes based on your spirit, because you serve a higher power, and then you will become as if, because you are obedient. But just saying I'm a God and I'm doing it, and you have to live according. It's more to it than the title.
So discipline, obedience would be synonymous with discipline. Would you say to discipline yourself to do? Okay, we getting to it now. Ramadan Mubarak.
But think about it. Think about it. When you disobedient, what happens? There's consequences.
Consequences for being disobedient.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you do it to yourself. When you say, "Hey, you know what? I'm not finna do this. You start seeing things get better."
Now let me ask you this: can you be obedient or disciplined, right, in the midst of a colonizer or the oppressor or someone who will come out and say, nigga, nigga. And the war show.
You have to be. Well,
Me,
that's the thing. If I can say that to you and throw you off, how obedient are you? Where's your you know what I mean? So it's like if I push you in your chest, I pushed you, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean you're not strong. You know what I mean? That just means I pushed you. But that doesn't mean I have to go on the deep end.
but
There's different ways of doing it.
so if somebody up and pushed you, you ain't finna clock them.
Definitely gonna defend yourself. But I'm just saying you can't. It's like this. You can't tempt me
Right.
for my downfall. You know what I mean? Because if I can upset you and get you out of your character, then I can turn around and point the finger at you and say you are whatever I say you are because I tricked you again. I did it to you again. I got you off. I called you the N-word. I embarrassed you in front of everybody. Now watch you act a fool.
Right.
If you fall victim to it, it's on you.
Well, when does the time come to separate then? You know, because after a while, after the children and the Israel, after they couldn't take it, God had to let my people go. That said, we got to separate. Meaning, is it a time to where we say, you know what, we might have to separate so we can go do for ourselves and build something for ourselves? Because either staying here being under this PTSD for these amount of years will it have some type of mental psychosis constantly?
I think if we do, he'll help us. I really do. Because that's what faith is about.
Right.
We believe that he will help us. You know what I mean? But if we don't make the step, you know what I mean? So it's like you have to accept some of the things because until you actually, when people say, when you leap out on faith, when you do it, but when you really start making them steps forward, he's going to help you.
Good. Because I'm going to tell you why I said this, though, bro. I'm tell y'all. And we going to get on this. I got the reason being. Somebody sent me a post and the gentleman said, do not reheat your food in plastic containers in the microwave because it wakes up the cancer cells, right?
Ooh.
Now, who is over our food? You think they finna give us? It's like we might need to sell so we can make sure we got. I mean, especially look. I'm gonna tell you why I see this. Look. Long time ago, they were saying how they was putting the bad meat in the black neighborhood. How they was putting all the stuff unwanted, moving black neighborhoods to chemical plants, doing something like what? I guess we looking, we looking for humanity in this system because we are people of God and we waiting for them to resemble you, the leader. We waiting to see God in your leadership, and it's just not coming.
Yeah.
Right? We still like, come on, man, show me some God in you, man. The food getting jacked up. I mean, health is vaccines, obesity rates, like the processed foods. Because my daughter, she's in medical school.
Okay.
And she's saying put fiber in all your food because so much of this food is processed, you're not getting your fiber intake. You got to do it. It's like, well, how y'all feeding God's children poison? Unless they don't see us as God's children.
Of course not.
So okay, now here we go. So Pan-African Moor, if they don't see us as God's children, right? And we can't teach them to see us as God's children, right?
I'm gonna call him back.
Then that means then that we have to internalize, and we talk about the Akashic records. We have to internalize and bring out, like Brother OG was stating too, and we have to bring out that God, I don't know what you call it, energy, ethers, essence. Now 3 E's. But right, how do we bring that out? How do we internalize that? But not saying we the big G. No, we not the big God. All of your children of the Most High. We just children of the God. We not the God. Did I get that straight now? We children of the God. How we on a cult level. Because the reason why I say that, because some people hear the term occult and they associate it with evil or something dark, dim, or negative. But how do we bring out the how we bring out the high vibration within oneself? Or how do you make them high chakras vibrate?
Communication.
Okay, well, first,
Go ahead.
occult just means hidden culture. We had brought up on another show that there's forgot what book it is, but there was a book that used the term occultum, and it was just another term for carbon or melanin in the body, which you could say that it's a hidden substance because it's inside the body. It's a hormone coming out the pineal gland, etc. So now, as far as Psalms 82 verse 6 and John chapter 10 verse 34, where they say that ye are gods, that being Jesus in the New Testament in John, and the God of the Bible, his Father, in Psalms 82 verse 6, is that this English text was derived from, at least in one form, from the Hebraic symbolic text, or Hebraic symbolic language. So they call it a fire language. Now, in these ancient languages like Hebrew, they didn't have the concept of an uppercase and a lowercase. That didn't exist. So this uppercase, lowercase thing is of a European concoction. Specifically, we're talking about the English language. So, the thing about God is that, just like they teach in the 5% and in the Nation of Islam, we don't deal with mystery gods. This isn't, H.P. Lovecraft horror story. This ain't Nightmare on Elm Street. The mystery schools of Kemet, when they were dealing with deities, they were talking about divine aspects of self. We're talking about, let's just say, if you're talking about the winged staff of Tahuti, you said Thoth. Thoth is another name for Tahuti. The Kabbalion and the 7 principles that we've discussed on this platform before comes from the school of thought of Tahuti. They call it the wisdom of Tahuti. Now, so, this God, or the God or God is just another word for the soul. We've discussed this before. So we could take the mystery out of it. Replace the word God with soul. Soul is just the aspect of you that exists forever outside of the body. The body is man and woman. The soul is God. The soul is Allah. The soul is Jah, Tahuti, Mayat, Exu, Pamageta, Ishu, Ilegwa, Ogun, whatever name that all these names of deities, are just describing various different aspects of God because, whenever if you encapsulate it in just God, which Christianity they don't. There is no religion where they encapsulate divinity all into just one entity, because even if you're talking about Islam, you still got angels. Same thing with Christianity. You still got God the Father, God the Son, the Holy Spirit. You still got all these various aspects of divinity describing this all in all, this concept of everything all encompassed in one, or this concept of oneness. So I just want to make sure that we at least putting it on the record to take the mystery out of it, that take the spookism out of this God thing. It's just the soul. It's really simple. It's really not that complicated. So nevertheless, now what you were saying about the black, about the higher aspects and the higher chakras, and what were you asking about that?
To get them to vibrate on that level, because you can. I think we all experience different out of body experiences before. You've been at a place to where you just sit still and energy just flows, and you shake a little bit. Is your conscious is you waking up, right? How, or is there a I don't know, yoga or some form of exercise to get them to vibrate on a higher plane? And the reason why I asked that is because, like what OG was saying earlier, when you come into a place and it's negative energy, right, you have to learn how to rise above that negative energy. And that's where a lot of people get caught up at. They don't know. It may be some technique. It may be something that they can use to elevate themselves, so they don't get swallowed in from it.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, for me personally, I went through that. Yeah, study the chakras. Chakras deal with your emotions and having control over your emotions. There are basically three states of when you talk about your chakras or these energy centers in your body, there's three states, and that is overactive, underactive, if I'm saying it correct, but underactive, overactive, and balanced. So when you talk about having control and exercise and discipline, you're just talking about balance. They say that if you're talking about the root chakra, the color red, it represents home. So they would say that if you have a underactive root chakra, then that means that you're probably never home. Your home is probably in disarray. You have no balance in the home. The home is disorderly. If you have a overactive root chakra, you're always in the house. You're cooped up. You're the cat lady. And if you have a balanced root chakra, then you understand that there's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes you have to step outside of the home and go, gather up some energy to bring it back home to be cultivated. And sometimes you need to stay in the house, because there's work to be done there, and that's balance. So when you talk about having self-control, study the chakras. That's what I did, because there was a time where I didn't have control over my emotions. There was a point in time in my life, and me studying the chakras is what I mean. It helped me in a tremendous way. It was like a 180 for me. So,
This is what you get
yeah.
it, because soul. When you talk about soul and God, I see the soul as God, as being that intuition, like something would tell you don't go in there, right? But you have to be a God to listen, to follow God, to not go in there. If not, once you uh, disassociate or dismiss that intuition, and you go in there and you get caught up, free will, that's on you, right? Because that's, I'm thinking why you say all of you teaching children of God, because gods can listen to a higher God, or listen to that God or that soul within God, to listen, to tune in on the same frequency or the same channel. If you're not on that frequency or that channel, how you it's gonna be hard for you to tune in. Although I'd have been there. He always will send you that message. Don't do it. And you got the free will. I done blocked that message before. To get you in so much a jam, to what we always say, God, if you be up out of this, you never got to worry about me no more. Just save me this one time, right? And I'm good. I'm gonna do this. You try to make a pact, right? I'm gonna be the best. I'm telling you, we do that. So I'm understanding.
But think about it. Think about it. You know how when you don't listen to those voices and signs and different things, you end up repeating it, whether it's 5 years down the line, the next week, or you go through it again. You get another chance to try to, what I'm saying, overcome it without saying, Lord, I messed up. Can you, hey, gonna give you another opportunity. It's gonna be the same situation, different day. It's gonna come back. That's how you know when you operating in that and you living in it, man. We're supposed to be the example. That's why everybody's against us, because we're supposed to be the standard. And they're like, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. We can't follow them. We can't believe in them. And they're so upset because they know that we're supposed to be the standard. Think about it.
We can't follow them because they teach sometimes book, pen, or pencil, whatever, right? Sometimes we teach universal laws, universal God. And when we say, that's why we in the conflict. Like the lady. Remember that lady was boiling that water and that cop came in and killed her?
Yeah.
Right.
She said when he got to the door, she knew it. She said, "You're not gonna kill me, huh?
Come on."
Right? Already knew. But he didn't know. We can't communicate on the same. So she getting punished because he don't understand. I'm rotating on the high. I already see you. But then he might get mad that he might notice how you knew I was getting ready to do this. You know what I'm saying? Then that's why they would say, well, y'all might not be human. Y'all might, and they gotta, trust me, when they get together in their meetings, they got a whole discussion about us and the things that we do. You know what I mean? How Jordan jumping from the sun and says, wait a minute, man, and just gliding like that. Wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? So then they come back and say, well, we got to change these rules, right? Now you can't no longer do this no more because we got to keep up. They got to try.
You said it, man. The rules and laws and this and that. You said it. That's in order for them to be able to keep control of things without any rules or this. Then we don't make no rules. We just break them all. We don't make them. You know what I mean? So when we get it in hand and making the rules and leveling the playing field, I think it's a different outcome. But they're already in place.
Yeah, but we can't make rules until we at a certain level of being. I mean, we can make rules. I'm just saying as a whole.
Right.
Because if you make the same rules, okay, give me some.
That's a tough one though, man.
It's like having a child when you're 18 versus having a child when you're 30. When you learn some things that them two, they're gonna be two totally different children. Two totally different children. Because you know some things that you can teach. So if we made rules out of the mindset we had,
do you think we would bend the rules?
Or not? It's like, what? Really? Come on, right?
Some stuff that's bad to us ain't that bad. We be like, man, it ain't that bad, but it's like terror to other folks. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man.
Hey! Let me jump in there real quick. Y'all don't mind?
Come on.
You said OG Alex, you had mentioned about the standard, right?
Right.
Okay. This is one reason why I push Pan-Africanism so much. What's going on in Africa right now is so legendary, it's so historical. I ain't never seen this in my lifetime. Over here in America, they're doing everything they can to keep the spotlight off of what's going on in Africa and Mali, Nigeria, and Burkina Faso. Just I think that all of those three presidents, there's been assassination attempts on them. But just Captain Traore alone, he's in the 20s somewhere at least, 20-something assassination attempts.
Wow.
So there was a Moor sister, Amatullah Bay. I'm gonna go ahead and say her name. Now I don't know her personally, but I was on Facebook and she was she was down there in the Africans. I forgot what she was talking about. And I said, I went on there and I brought up the AES and she blocked me. I didn't say nothing derogatory towards her. You know, I was very gentlemanlike in what I was saying. I wasn't even like really trying to go against what she was saying per se. I was just bringing up the fact that yeah, we got motion, and she blocked me, and I love it because you know I don't need to see that garbage on my timeline anyway. All of this, you know, this lack of understanding that's being perpetuated over here in America right now via this agenda of us being disunified worldwide. But going back to Memorandum 46, Memorandum 46 came out decades ago. The United States, they made it very clear that they want us to be disconnected from our people. Oh, appreciate it, brother. All right. Want us to be disunified from our people worldwide. And our people, you know, some of our people here in America with this, you know, me no African and, uh, you know, that right there is hindering us because you know we over here in America, you know, we're the most popular Africans on the planet. And I think we talked about this on the show before. So we saw in our ego that it's like if we ain't leading the charge, then I don't care. You know, I got a lot of love and respect for Willie D. You know, he had there was a clip. He had an interview with Big Gill, and Gip, and I'm paraphrasing, he said that when a brother or a sister they come out and they're not talking about us here in America, then I know that they basically they ain't on nothing. And Willie D chimed in and he said, yeah, and if he included Africans. And that just and you know I don't really know Willie D. Willie D has shown a lot of love to Captain Traore and the AES. So I don't know where that came from. You know, I don't know if that was like a Freudian slip or something. Because we got some stuff in our subconscious mind that just comes out like Tourette syndrome. It just come out like out of nowhere, you know. And you know, so it's like we're not looking at the AES as a standard. They're sovereign. They kicked out the French. They took over their gold. They're taking it. You know, they got ambassadors from the U.S. and from all over the world going over there trying to strike up deals with them, with those three countries. There are many countries in Africa that regardless of what their individual president is, they say Captain Traore is my president. He's 30 some years old, very intelligent. His speeches are that of Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, peace be upon him, of El Haj Malik El Shabazz, peace be upon him. His speeches are legendary, but they're not circulating on social media. We don't get clips of that. We don't see that because it's being suppressed purposely. And it makes sense. Why wouldn't they suppress that? We don't want, and then our people, because you got some of our people that, we don't call ourselves Africans, we don't identify with that, so we don't even look or know to look over there to see what's going on. Like that clip I sent you earlier, Black, where the brother was saying that because black is my favorite color, and I love the color black, and I love being a black skinned African. I love my skin complexion. I love black people no matter what shade that they are. But I understand politics, I understand linguistics, I understand the power of language. And the fact that we don't call ourselves Africans, what would you say, brother Black?
I was just repeating politics, right? When you were saying
Right.
it's politics.
Mhm.
I'm listening.
Yeah, the fact that we don't refer to ourselves as Africans is actually hindering us. I don't care about if that term came from Europeans or not. I'm talking about just us being able to identify with each other worldwide. You know, we could say you're African American, African Belizean, African Cameroonian, African if you live in the UK, African English or whatever term, but African first.
But
We're
this,
Africans first. Mhm.
no, you're right. But this is the deal, though, bro. This is the deal. If you notice, you don't hear too much from the Black Caucus no more. You don't. You Jesse just passed. You don't hear too much from them. The old civil rights leaders. They quiet, right? The FBA is is what white people feel like language they could talk to that they could understand. Talking to conscious and people who have a certain mindset, they don't know that language. They rather talk to the FBA because they feel like that might be the new civil rights movement that's coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if you see an FBA with flying the American flag. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, they do. No, they do. They fly the American flag.
Right. So they saying, look, we need to communicate with black people. We don't know how to communicate with the Moors or with the NOI or with some of the garbage followers or with Pan-Africanism. We don't know that language. We know this language because that's who they dealt with. That civil rights. Some of the preachers. They had a rapport with them for years. It's like put like this. Whenever something would go down, and the militant streets would rise up and be like, "We finna tell." They would send somebody in front of us, and now this ain't the way y'all calm down. Y'all, now we not gonna do this now, right? And so they gone. So they gotta make connections and relationships with a group that they feel can come out and do the same thing for their behalf, for their benefit, right? But it ain't happening. It ain't gonna happen. It's over. That's what they fail to realize. But only two things I ain't even say that part though, because I don't know what they plan is.
Who playing?
I don't know what the FBA plan is. So
I know what their plan is.
I don't know.
I know what their plan is. They don't have a plan.
Okay,
they don't have a plan.
Right. But hopefully
their plan was reparations, but they don't know the law, so how they gonna enforce reparations?
Reason why I say who did Tariq Nasheed study under? He did the colors. Hidden colors. Right? Now you mean to tell me that you would do Hidden Colors, you would bring out Gaspar Yanga in Mexico, all of a sudden, what's your motivation today? Right? How did you lose that and now you on this? It's just not adding up to me, bro.
Well, he said it. He said it himself.
What he said?
He said that, he said it on video publicly that he was offered a big bag of money to start shitting on, our people that wasn't born here. He said it. He said, and at the time, he was acting like he wasn't gonna do it. But he said that matter of fact, he said that the colonialists would love for him to start shitting on them. And he said that there's a big bag of money that comes with that. So there go your answer.
There you go.
If he's doing it now, that means he took the compensation.
Okay. It's like when rap first was getting started, everybody conscious and dropping knowledge, and then when the colonizers wanted to get involved, then folks and start setting up their record labels and start saying, when you come over here to my record label, I give you this bag of money, but you can't talk about that no more. So they took the money and changed their style and their content. Right. We doing it again.
Commercialize.
We commercializing it.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Rappers. No, I was just gonna say I've heard rappers say that a lot. Like, why would I rap about consciousness? Ain't no money in that. I'm gonna rap about where people are vibrating from: money, sex, and drugs.
And now,
because that's where the money at.
Now, going back, listening to their lyrics and locking them up on what you said in the song and said you told on yourself and investigating because you said it right here.
Right.
Didn't know that was a plan that you was picked from the jump. That money, like John Todd said, hell, we print money. They got plenty of money. They ain't worried about no money. It's the agenda that they want to push forward. They don't mind throwing you no money. Hell, the money backed by what they print that. They say they don't mind giving you no money. Long the value is in you putting forth their agenda. That's where the value is.
The control.
The control. Why? Why? Because who don't want to control the genie in the bottle? Who don't want to control the genie? Who don't want to control the gods? Who don't want to? Everybody want to control the black man.
Yep.
From time immemorial, everybody wanted their turn to control our creativity and what we create. Who don't? Everybody. We ain't got that we haven't figured that out yet. We help. They say, yeah, man, I give you a bag of money. Just get out the way and give me some intel, and I figure the rest out. But just let me control y'all for a little bit longer. And you the money.
Think about it. You said they offer a bag of money. They're basically saying this is all it takes. You know what I mean? This is all it takes. This paper. Eventually, I'm gonna push you to the point to where you gonna give in, because they're saying this is all it takes. But all fails, all for the money, because they can't just come strip you out of it because you're born with this talent.
Right.
But how you chose to use it, you know what I'm saying? They'll pay you. They're willing to pay you to go against what you. It's like, I want to pay you for self-destruction.
Bro, we done squandered so much time to where saying, hey, I can create, I don't need you no more. I would create me an avatar to do what I know all your moves now. I know everything about you. I can finna create you and put you on screen and make money that way. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? We've been pushing right on to the side. Your service is no longer rendered.
No, it's just one thing about that. It's just something about us. It cannot be duplicated.
All right.
Come on.
Okay. It might look like something, but it won't render the feeling.
Come on. Yeah, right.
You can't be duplicated. Either you have it or you don't. That's just it. And people try, but no, it's just something that's that little that is so natural.
That's why
it's almost
original.
like I don't know if you all seen, and I was telling low key. See, you have Jim Carrey, who's the Grinch, and I love Jim Carrey. Since when he played on In Living Color, but it's something about this guy, this Nick guy. When he does the Grinch, and he put all of us in it, our culture, our swagger, all of that, our vibe, it just takes it up a whole notch.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So it'll be that, but it'll be absent of that.
Okay, right. It won't have no seasoning on it.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's almost like, you hear some people, unless they've been around people now, it can be, they can kind of, tap, touch the water a little bit, depending on where they're from. But
they pick up on the culture, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And get out there and they can, they can do a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I feel you. I feel you.
It's going to take a lot of effort. It takes a lot. Because it's like the representative will be there and they'll be trying to, they'll have to work so hard to hold that.
Right.
And to where it's just so natural for us, like, okay,
Yeah, this is what we do. We were born doing this.
Hey, we you're the first.
Right. Yeah.
That's what that's about.
It is. So that means, okay. So look here, everybody that's listening, take back your power. You can say, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. We done take it back as ours again. You know what I mean? We finna start snatching things, meaning snatching our energy back.
That's right.
It's time. The experiment is over with. That 6,000 year experiment, we've been that, done that. The experiment is over with. Now it's time for us to come back.
That's right.
Oh man, the time dictates it. Now it's gonna happen whether we want to or not. Anyway.
That's right. And there's as they said about Elijah McCoy. It's the real McCoy.
Real McCoy.
That's who we are. We are. That's just it.
Look how long it took for the truth that the Lone Ranger was black.
But everything is coming out. You have people telling it. They're telling it so eloquently. They're just letting it out. I mean, it's like they have to let it out. Maybe some people feel like maybe they can be, that's their salvation. They can be redeemed by letting out the truth. But it had to come out.
But should we embrace them, white people that's coming out saying the truth, and be like, okay, or
I can appreciate people, talking, because it's like we know some things, but it might be some things that we don't. So if other people are doing the research and they're finding out, let's just say if they're knowing about it or finding out it's through those kept secrets and they let things out, yes. That just adds to, that's just a part of the missing pieces to the puzzle.
But can we get on this? We got 5 minutes before we go. I just got to say this.
Okay.
And he would help me on this. I got to do it, man. I got to do it. So there was a Moor on Instagram, I think. I don't know. But he tried to say that Masrah Muhammad, no, he said Elijah Muhammad got his teachings or was taught by Noble Drew Ali. When Noble Drew Ali was Circle 7 Quran, Elijah was Supreme Wisdom. 2 different ideologies, 2 different teachings. But yet they never matter of fact, Elijah Muhammad said, that's my brother told us respect the Moors. Right? They didn't get into it.
Excuse me.
What's happening in today's time where the followers of a group are trying, it could be agents though, but are trying to create disunity when there was no disunity. What is that about? Why is it what's going on with the disunity with they trying to create disunity between organizations that's been since the 30s and 20s, bro, and still prevalent, relevant to today's time.
You know what? That's the whole thing with Elijah Poole Bay and all that particular discussion going on. That's been around for a long time. That from my perspective, I was never really all that interested in it. I might have did a little research, here and there over the years, but to me, like that's what they say. That's small fry to a Big Mac. That ain't that's I. But go ahead, Black.
No, I'm just going to say it's big on the sense of the teachings, the lessons, the word. Each of them brought a word and had a powerful word to give to us as a people to move by, to build us up. It was big within the lessons. The teachings was big. The word that was brought that internalized in the body of people, you see the works was done. You see the hotels, the planes, the businesses, the banks that then I was doing. You see that word that Noble Ali brought, the Moors, you saw them dealing with the law and creating their communities. So it was what they taught was important, was big. And I'm just saying there's no need to say, oh, well, you can't say one got this from that one if one is not teaching what that one was teaching. I don't see the logic.
What I think that if they were living at the same time, that they were learning from each other. if you know, if we, I mean, it's just like me, you know, like, or anybody else. My partner, one of my right hand man, he's a RBG, but we learn from each other.
Right.
I mean, even if let's say uh, he was to your example, uh, they said that no majority came first. So let's say if my partner, from me learning from him, I became a RBG, but then I branched off and I started teaching something else. I still, whatever wisdom and whatever understanding that I gained from him, that still is something that is beneficial. It still stands. You know,
Right.
now if it's a case of where somebody is trying to diminish, you know, the legacy of, you know, Elijah Muhammad by saying that, you know, he got his lessons from Prophet Noble Ali, then, you know, that's something different because, you know, we all learn from each other. So you can't diminish the legacy of somebody just because they attained some knowledge from somebody else, and vice versa, whether it was, you know,
Right.
Prophet Noble Ali got it from Elijah Muhammad. It really doesn't matter, you know, and anybody trying to diminish either one of those brothers because they both may have gotten knowledge from each other, or one may have, you know, been in a teacher position, all that doesn't matter. You know, like, we're all supposed to be forever students anyway, you know. So the teachers that I was learning from, they didn't want followers.
Right.
They were teaching us how to be teachers ourselves and always be a student and always stay humble. You know,
That's
so
right.
if you're not exercising humility, then yeah, I can see a person trying to put somebody over the other person or say that they all own. It's like when I hear people say, I made. I despise when I hear people say I made this person. You know,
Right.
I think I heard Big U. I'm not trying to slander him because he locked up. Just using him as an example. I think he said he made Nipsey Hussle. Peace be upon him. No, you didn't. No. The the soul made us, if anything. If you
Right.
want to say God made us, Allah made us, we come from that forever energy, from that one energy, from that one thing, from that all in all. So ain't no man making another man.
Come
And if
on.
you want to give credit to somebody making somebody, then the closest thing is gonna be your parents. Before
Right.
it's just some other brother that I ran into and I learned something from. That don't
Right.
mean that he made me,
Right.
you know. That's
That's
very arrogant. That's very arrogant.
good. Well
Hmm.
said. Well said, y'all.
Sound like some Hollywood stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if we do
Right.
that, that's gonna create disunity. Now, what's the
Right.
benefit?
In all
This
forms, all directions. I
not
mean, we should know because we've got it from every hand to somebody just all of a sudden just pop up. It's like the spidey senses should go off.
right. What's going
The
on?
godly intuition should go off. Because we've seen people just planted, things
Right.
planted.
Come on. You make a move, justify that move. How are we gonna benefit from you just doing that? And
Right.
if they be like, that's a problem. What was your modus operandi for that? What's going on? Oh, that's over with, bro. We are builders. We got builders is in our blood. And building don't just mean brick and more than brick and stone. You know, building is you can build a person up. You can build your people up. Build this up. Building is building, right? Man, another one though. Look, we riding. Time be flying, but it don't seem like it be that long. But we be riding though. You know what I mean? That energy is strong. Y'all just don't know how I appreciate the brilliance in you guys' mind on topics because the key thing is we not selfish. We not selfish. So we don't mind spreading, letting it go, spreading love, man. People folks benefiting and enjoying what we do right here. VerbalpicRadio, man. Appreciate it. Before we get out of here, anybody got any announcements or something they working on or somewhere they need people to go to their page and do something? Or y'all can go to Verpic Radio YouTube page and check out Black's Journey movies on YouTube, like and subscribe. But anybody else got something? That wasn't the same
No.
as plug either. Where you go?
Yeah, I'll add on. Yeah, go to Instagram, go to Moorish Empire and tap in. Same thing with Facebook, Moorish Empire. Tap in. Let me know that y'all seen the show and what you think, your thoughts, share it. And yeah, let's do it.
Right there. And we out, bro. Ready? We out till next time, y'all.
Yeah, yeah.